just talking to one of my cousins about hearing things that you don't want to hear. You know, maybe a family member or a friend or your partner says something to you that you don't want to hear. You know, it makes you feel uneasy, makes you feel something about yourself that's not right. And normally, when this feeling, you'll know the feeling when it hits you, but it's the feeling of knowing what the person in front of you is saying is right, but it's very hard for you to act on that thing or change that thing or do that thing. And it's something of you want to put it off and you want to push it away as much as possible, but the person in front of you loves you and they want to help you to push forward in life, and it's very hard for you to like hear it from them because you know it comes from a place of love. At the same time, you really don't want to hear it. It's like a hurtful thing, but it's coming from someone that loves you, and it's coming from love, but it's a hurtful thing. It's a very strange feeling. Change is the most painful thing that a human can experience. And you may think, well, of course not. But the thing about everything that pains you, it is a change. You lose someone, that's a change. You move to school, maybe job, that's a change. It hurts. Maybe you even get promoted. Sometimes that can be upsetting after a bit. You know, it's about a change in your life or something changing, and it is painful. Sometimes, even when you go up in life, you sort of look back and reminisce a little bit, you know, and you think, oh, that'd be nice to be there again. Sometimes, not with everything, of course. But change is very painful, and there's not really a way of getting past that pain. You just have to go through it. Einstein once said that the measure of your intelligence is based on your ability to change. I think it's something like that, something along the lines. Basically saying your ability to change measures how intelligent you are. And I think that is probably one of the best ways I've ever been explaining intelligence ever. Because it's true. Because when you change, you move forward, you evolve, you learn more things. And I guess if you constantly do that, or you constantly can keep improving or changing, I think is the better word, not just improving, because sometimes you have to take a step back to move forward, and that's a change in itself. I think, yeah, he was right. It is a really good show on intelligence. I'm 24 now, so it doesn't really affect me loads, but have you ever seen someone that you may have seen when you were younger, and then you meet them, you know, 10, 20, 15 years down the line, maybe even 30, 40, whatever, and you see them, and they haven't really changed much. They're very similar in the way they were and how they thought and what they did. And you think, they didn't really do too much. And I guess that's not always a bad thing. At the same time, you kind of expected maybe a little bit of a change, a little bit of movement, but there wasn't. And it's sort of like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. I expected this person to do amazing things or have a family, or I expected this person to do amazing things, and they sort of just stayed put, even though they had the potential to do anything they wanted to. I don't know if this ties in, but I think it was in a David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. I think it's in this, I'm not too sure if it is. But he says, imagine you die and you go up to your God, right? And your God is there, and he shows you a person that is smarter than you, better looking than you. You know, they've got more energy. They've got the best of everything. They are just everything you wish you could have been, right? And they look a little bit like you, but not quite. And your God says to you, this is what you would have been if you had changed, moved forward, advanced, pushed forward in your life constantly, always said yes and just went for it every time. This is what you would have turned out to be. This was what I imagined for you. But because you stayed in one place, you never moved, you never changed, you never took a challenge, you stayed in one spot, you are who you are now, and not this person. And that really took a toll on my mind. grinding mentality is not great, but understanding that to improve you need to put the work in is important as well. So kids, if you're faced with a challenge, go for it. Put your heart into it. Don't matter if you fail. You'll change because of it. You'll think differently. You'll understand things differently. And never be afraid of change, even though you're always gonna be. Understand that it's just a part of life. And